Hello, and welcome to the President module of RSO Training. In this module, we will go over the importance of presidents for our RSOs, as well as the general role we believe presidents play in their organizations. We will also cover Constitution review, Cub Connect information, and event registration expectations for presidents. First, thank you for being willing to serve as a president for a recognized student organization. Our RSOs benefit greatly from the leadership their presidents provide, and we hope you feel the benefits in return. RSO presidents are important to the success of their organizations for multiple reasons. First, they provide leadership for their organization. Presidents usually have a good idea of everything that is happening within the org and can model leadership for other officers and general members. With their leadership, presidents also hold a good deal of responsibility for the continued success of their organization. Presidents should also have a maturity that is recognized by other members of the org. Maturity is not always linked to your classification at UCA or previous experience in leadership, but maturity for the RSO is setting and living up to high expectations. A president handles the operations of their organization and provides structure for other positions within the RSO. More of this operational and structural responsibility will be discussed as this module progresses. Finally, we believe the president sets the tone for their org. If you think back to your time as a general member of your current or other organizations, you most likely look to the president and other leadership for the vibe during situations or certain times of year. Your time as president will have this same expectation from your general members as well. The role of the president is different from the importance of the president because these are action things the president should be doing. The president should utilize the executive board or general members to complete tasks as needed. Being the president doesn't mean you are the only person working on tasks. It's okay to delegate things to others. The president also represents the RSO as needed with various things on campus and is the main point of contact for the RSO. Throughout the year, the RSO president might be communicated with via direct email or through Cub Connect by student life, student government, or other office or department on campus. It's important this communication is reviewed and, should a reply be necessary, a response is given. Similar to setting the tone that was explained earlier, as the leader of the organization, the president should assess issues in the group as they arise and should also develop a plan to address these issues as needed. Some issues might work themselves out on their own, but others could need intervention. The president should be a neutral third party to serve as the mediator and address issues that come up. Occasionally, this mediator role might be a general third-party stance to hear out sides that don't need a conversation but just might need a listening ear. Due to the nature of group culture, it's important for presidents to have at least a good working relationship with the advisor of their RSO. Advisors have likely served in their roles for several years and can advise on any concerns brought to them. Finally, Student Life is always happy to aid RSOs with the management of group culture should issues arise and no solution has been worked out. We are experienced at helping RSOs through roadblocks. Each RSO has a constitution for their organization. This is a document that outlines how the RSO is to be run when it comes to membership acceptance, dues, officer expectations, and amendment procedures, among other things. This document should be followed by your organization for its base procedures, and each new executive board should review it during their transition into their role. It should be regularly referenced during decision making and needs to be followed. If your RSO is not following the Constitution, there are two ways to approach this. First, your RSO can adjust its operations to match the Constitution. This should be used if the adjustment is minor and operational procedures have been lost throughout the years. The second way is through a constitutional amendment to make the Constitution meet the organization's operations. A constitutional amendment should be done sparingly and only if you cannot match your operations with what is currently listed in your Constitution. Finally, UCA has 12 minimum requirements for RSOs to have had their initial establishment that need to remain in the document each year. These are listed on the sample constitution that is available on the RSO website, and the Constitution will be reviewed during the RSO renewal process, and you will be contacted if these minimums are not in your document. UCA utilizes Cub Connect as our campus engagement platform. The president should regularly look over the RSO's Cub Connect page to ensure the overall appearance is how they'd like their RSO to be presented to campus. Students looking to get involved will browse available RSOs, and your page should give all the information they might need to contact you. An important part of Cub Connect is the roster page. All past members should be removed from the roster when they graduate or leave the organization, and your new members should be added when they join the RSO. The roster is also how you give page permissions to members if they need to update pictures, register events, or submit finance requests. The Cub Connect roster also now dictates your Give Pulse roster. You need to ensure that the roster is as up to date as possible so Give Pulse reflects the correct information. The contact information listed in the About section should be as close to permanent information as possible. If your RSO has an email, that should be used instead of a personal email for the president or the advisor. Physical addresses should be on-campus locations rather than personal homes. This information is publicly available for anyone, whether they're logged into Cub Connect or not. Cub Connect also has an event submission process built into the system. The president should either be the submitter of events or should know about the events that are being submitted on the RSO's behalf. Finally, the president should complete the annual RSO renewal each year. Although any person with manager access to the page can do this, we encourage the president to do this as, again, they are the main contact for their RSO. The RSO website holds Cub Connect guides for reference for most all Cub Connect admin aspects. Most organizations hold events of some kind, whether social or non-social. The president should be aware of the RSO events policy and all event management information pertaining to their RSO. Presidents should be the submitter of event registrations or should be added as a reviewer during the submission process. This ensures the president is aware of submission information given in comments, denials, or approvals. When it comes to events, attendance should be taken at all events. The president should know event check-in or attendance taking procedures. Most of the time, this responsibility usually falls to the event monitors and not the president, but it is an important part of event management and the RSO leadership should have this knowledge. Event monitors are members who have completed the RSO Event Monitor training and the corresponding Cub Connect form. Presidents should ensure they have enough trained monitors to cover the largest social event the RSO would like to hold. We often see full RSO membership taking the training, as members can represent multiple RSOs, and having a large number of trained monitors takes stress off event planners when having to select monitors. More information can be found on the RSO Event Planner and RSO Event Monitor trainings. The president will be responsible for taking the event planner training for their RSO to hold social events. More information can be found on the RSO website, and if you have any specific questions, you are more than welcome to email Student Life.